So I played for how long last time? I haven't even gotten half of the deaths yet. Oh my gosh, okay. But I now know how to use the objects in my inventory because I am an idiot and I didn't realize that they would blink when you can use them. So I'm absolutely going to stab this bitch in the face. But other than that, I'm just gonna try to do my best, I guess. Let's go, STRADE. Also, I've been told it is STRADE, so I don't give a shit what this bitch's name is. He's a dick. But I'll call him STRADE. Okay, so far I've been trying to talk with him, and whenever he says to scream, I've been doing that or whatever, stupid. Anyways, this time I'm just kind of not. Obviously us yelling is what he wants, and I am not the kind of person to do that. So we're just gonna be quiet and see what happens, if we can influence anything. I kept my mouth shut and glared at my captor. His smile faltered. He stared at me for a moment and then swiftly kicked me in the stomach. The heavy boot dug into my gut as all the air escaped my lungs. I tried to catch my breath as he loomed over me. Why so quiet now? We were having a good chat in the bar. I was just wondering how you're feeling. STRADE bent down slowly and pulled a knife from his hip. I wanted to continue our conversation, but if you'd rather scream instead. He flashed the knife at me with a twisted smile. Then he plunged it into my arm. The pain shot up my arm as I felt the blade dig into my flesh. The knife stopped at the bone and a new wave of pain came. I looked up at him as he kept the knife firmly in place. We got stabbed in the arm and I was just like, I got this, bitch. What a badass. I'm such a badass. Damn. STRADE leaned in and looked at me intensely. I could feel the tip of the knife digging into my bone as he twisted his knife. He pulled the knife out quickly. I could feel the knife ripping its way back out of my skin. The wound throbbed with every one of my heartbeats. I could feel my blood dripping down my arm as I turned my head to look at him. How are you feeling? Fuck you. STRADE's smile faded. He looked me over slowly and bit the nail on his thumb. I see what you're doing here, but I think you're not quite understanding the situation. He placed his hand on my head firmly. I want to hear your voice. I glared at him, gritting my teeth hard. I'm not giving this asshole anything he wants. He flashed the knife, still wet with my blood. And I know how to get what I want. I felt my resolve breaking. Wait, He plunged the blade into my gut, just below the ribs. I looked down, eyes wide. I felt oddly detached from the hand and blade so deep inside of me. I tried to take a breath, but pain exploded through my body, forcing me back to reality. I tried to hold back a scream, but he began to tear the blade to the side. I couldn't hold it back anymore. I screamed and tears rolled down my face. Stop, I'll talk. He wasn't listening anymore. He was looking at my stomach with hysterical excitement. He tossed the knife to the side and shoved his hand into the wound. His hands ripped the bleeding hole wider. Jesus. I felt my body stiffen. I just wanted to pass out, but I couldn't. Good grief. He was laughing. I stared in horror as he pulled my intestines out from the gaping hole in my gut. His voice sounded far away as my vision began to go dark. Ah, you're already giving up on me? I could barely feel his hand shaking my chin. The last thing I saw was his delighted face pulling out more of my entrails. I mean, it did what it was supposed to. But goddamn. Okay, we have got our knife, so I am going to try to gut this bitch. Just like he did to me. Fucking rude. Yeah, give me some food. I obviously had a little bit of trouble before getting the knife. All right, now's our chance. No! I grabbed the knife under myself. I tried to cut through the rope quickly without tipping him off. There, I wasted no time. I clutched the knife and plunged it toward his neck with as much force as I could muster. Whoa! I stared at him. Then I looked at my wrist. Look at this! It was in his tight grasp. He slowly picked the knife from my hand and tossed it aside. In one swift motion, he wrenched my arm behind my back and pushed my face to the floor. I wheezed under his weight as he pressed down. I could feel his head right next to mine, breathing on my neck. That was interesting. He pressed harder on my arm. I really admire your enthusiasm. I couldn't help but cry out. But you're a bit of a problem, aren't you? He got up off me and dusted himself off. I rolled onto my back so that I could look at him and try to sit up. But I was interrupted by a sharp kick to my side. I tried to yell, but the wind was knocked out of me. I could only curl slightly and tear up. STRADE moved his boot over my neck. I started to panic as he pressed it down. I tried to claw at the thick boots and his leg. I couldn't do anything. He kept stepping harder and began to laugh. I could feel something inside my neck, crunching. Then everything went dark. The last thing I heard was his laughter. Okay, maybe if we stab him a little bit later, like maybe he's just expecting it, and we stab him a little bit after we eat? So STRADE was about to do something not great, and when he flipped me onto the floor, he found the knife. He was looking at the floor where I was, at the knife. What's this? I froze. He bent down to pick the knife up off the floor. I just stared at him. He sauntered towards me as I tried to sit up. One of my knives. I shuffled clumsily backward as he kept closing in. And what were you planning to do with that? I was gonna stab you. I mean, why lie about it? I didn't see any point in trying to hide it. I was waiting. I was going to stab you. He looked down at me. He started laughing obnoxiously. I began to sweat and backed up a little bit more. My hands hit the side of a wooden table, and soon my back was pressed against it. He looked at the knife. Do you want this back? He was standing over me. I stared in confusion for a moment before shaking my head quickly. He crouched down, straddling me, and touched my face softly. You should have it. He's not just gonna give it back to me, is he? Like, he's gonna stab me with this. God dang it. I felt a point and looked down. He pushed the knife into me between my ribs. I watched it sink in slowly and smoothly, in total silence. It felt as though a scream was caught in my throat. It looks better in you. I looked up at him. I wanted to say something, do something, anything. I opened my mouth and tried to push out the scream. Nothing came out but blood. It felt like I was suffocating, but I couldn't cough. He leaned forward and licked blood from my lower lip as I trembled. Then he slid the knife out, and I watched my blood pool around me. My eyes, I couldn't keep them open. He gave my knife back. So kind. I already ate the bar. I'm wondering if this time I can stab him and it do something, because he's even closer now, just to the neck. No. Fuck. Okay, so I keep just running through all of my options with this knife because I feel like there has to be an ending where I actually stab him. Just has to be. So, at this point, we got the drill to the foot, and we have the knife. So this is right after he got done putting the drill in our foot, and I tried some other options. Nothing was really clicking. I tried I'm ashamed to admit it. I moaned. And I know that didn't really work out for us super well last time, but I was just trying everything with this knife, and I got new dialogue. So it seems like he's doing something differently. He's a little... It feels weird to say gentler considering the situation, but anyways, let's just go through it. He lowered his hand, trailing a line of blood down my chest, my stomach, between my legs. Do you like this? I started to pant. After all the pain, this touch, I didn't care anymore. He reached around me and untied my wrists. He pushed me down to the ground beside the pole I had been tied to. He seemed to be moving more smoothly. Was he being less rough? That's what I was saying. Like, it's not as like crazed and panicked. So maybe he's still a little bit in there. I let out a shuddering sigh. He had one hand on my torn up thigh. He squeezed and I moaned again. What was happening? He growled in my ear before his lips touched my neck for a moment. Then he bit down hard. Oh, bitch, if you're gonna bite me, I'm gonna stab you. Wait, I remembered the knife. This is it. I reached down under myself for the blade. STRADE was completely distracted. I aimed the knife at his neck and stabbed with all the strength I could muster. I looked at my hand, my heart beating in my ears. He was holding my wrist, but the blade was partially lodged in his neck. Oh! You. His voice sounded strained. Uh-oh. He yanked my wrist and the knife away from his neck. Blood oozed quickly from the wound. He didn't seem to notice. He took the knife, and I noticed that his hand was shaking. He was still straddling me. My eyes widened as I began to realize the position that I was in. Have you ever heard the saying, an eye for an eye? Oh, no. His other hand shot out and slammed my head down to the cement by my forehead. Wait. He lowered the bloody knife to my face. I wanted to close my eyes, but I was too terrified to stop watching. I know it's meant to be more, figurative. Fuck. He teased my lower eyelid with the tip of the knife. But I've always liked the image. No, don't! He kept grinning. I know you are. He pressed the knife into my eyes. I began to scream. He sawed around the eye, and blood started pouring down my face. I tried to push his arm away, digging my nails into his arm. My efforts didn't even seem to bother him. He took the knife away and jammed his fingers into my ruined eye socket. He pulled out a bloody mess that vaguely resembled my eye. Look! He held it over my face. I cried and trembled under him. This is worse. I feel like this was worse. Fuck. I think that saying may be no good. I don't feel even yet. I sobbed again and tried to cover my face. He threw my eye to the side and viciously pinned my arms above my head. He held the knife over the bleeding hole where my eye was and slowly pushed down. It didn't hurt, but I could feel something. I can't. Oh! So, does that count as lobotomizing? Have I now been lobotomized by two different characters? I swear to God, I'm gonna get this knife in his face. This didn't work. This didn't work. I'm gonna try this one. He just did the drill again. And don't fucking touch me. Like, ew. Oh, and then he's gonna make me eat my leg. We told him to not fucking touch us. And he cut open our leg and made us eat it because he's disgusting. And then some new stuff is happening. So my eyelids fluttered, but I kept them closed. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't want to move. I heard footsteps on the stairs. My blood ran cold. I listened harder. They were slow and very light. I decided to keep quiet and not move. The footsteps approached from the stairs. They were accompanied by quiet clicking on the cement floor. Clicking? I suddenly heard something sniffing right next to my head. Ew. Oh, was it a dog? I opened my eyes. Oh. No, that is not a dog. What? You're alive? Oh no. I blinked a few times. Who are you? Me? I'm just Ren. Nice to meet you. Is it nice to meet me in this basement? I guess. This tiny guy looked like he might run off any second. Hi. I tried to speak calmly and gently. My name is Cece. It's nice to meet you, too. He was starting to look a little less nervous. What is this? Is this like a shock collar? Ren, I'm badly hurt. I know. He didn't seem to want to look at me. Ren, please help me. Is this the little bitch? Okay, do you remember last time I went up the stairs to try to escape and I went and opened the door and somebody that was not STRADE saw me and called out for STRADE and then STRADE came and killed me? Was this little bitch that ratted me out? Because I will stab you. I watched him pleadingly. I can't let you go. Of course you can't. You little asshole, he's going to kill me. I know. I'm sorry. Get back here! I groaned in frustration. He's just gonna let me die. At least yelling at him made me feel a little better. I closed my eyes again. I woke up and looked in front of me. He was just waiting for me, staring. I couldn't muster much strength to react. Morning, buddy. He was holding something. You're looking a little, what is it, worse for the wear? I raised my head a bit. He had a jug of water? Why do I feel like it's not water? He walked to me and slapped my cheek a few times lightly. I was so tired. Everything hurt and I had barely eaten. I could barely keep my head up to look at him. See? No energy left. That's no fun. Don't worry though, Liebling. We can still do something fun together. He pulled a leather strap from his pocket, then showed it to me. A ring gag? What's a ring gag? Hold on. I should have guessed that that's what it was. Yeah, that makes sense. I must have made a face because he barked out a laugh. Don't. As soon as I opened my mouth to protest, he pushed his fingers inside. Can I bite him? I barely had time to panic before he forced the large ring between my teeth. He fastened it around my head easily. I couldn't close my mouth. I wanted to struggle, but I could barely move. He grabbed the jug and popped the cap off. Then he grabbed a fistful of my hair and pulled my head back. Oh my God, is he gonna drown me with this? I could only let out a confused gasp. He poured the liquid into my mouth. I immediately started choking. It wasn't water. The smell was so strong and I couldn't breathe. Okay, so what do we think it is? Do we think it's gasoline? Pure alcohol? Bleach? He started chuckling as I gagged and choked. It poured all over my face and down my skin. All right. He let go of my hair and took a few steps back, then lit a match. Gasoline! My eyes widened in terror as he flicked it towards me. I was instantly engulfed in flame. Why would he set me on fire inside of his house? The room filled with smoke, my own screaming, and STRADE's laughter. Okay, so maybe we go back and we don't yell at Ren and see if he'll do something. Maybe I'll ask him about his fox ears. Well, I can hide them, but he doesn't let me. I blinked again. Was I just going crazy? This tiny guy looked like he might run off any second. That didn't help me at all. I understand. Judging by all of the scars covering this creature, I could guess why he wouldn't disobey STRADE. You're not allowed, right? That's right. He kept fidgeting. I could get you a glass of water. I guess anything would be helpful. I'm sure thirst was contributing to my pain. I'd really appreciate that if it's not too much trouble. Okay. He scampered off behind me where I heard a tap running and some shuffling. Here you go. You're tied up. Sorry. I can stab him. I feel like we do owe him for ratting us out for when we were trying to escape and he yelled at us and then STRADE killed us. So, plus, you know that this is gonna end to a death. So maybe I'll just do that real quick and then go back and not. He kneeled close to me and held the cup of water to my lips. Aww, stab you in the face. I got the little bastard nice and close. I reached underneath myself for the knife and carefully sawed at the ropes binding my wrists. Are you okay? Oh, yes. I'm feeling much better. I will be, anyway. I don't care how sweet he's being. This thing was with STRADE. Ren, come a bit closer. I need to tell you something and we need to be quiet. He leaned in. What is it? Now! I lashed out with the knife. He made a strange sort of barking scream. Damn, I was feeling weaker than I thought. I only got him in the arm. STRADE, he was crying out. See, in league with STRADE. Should have stabbed him in the face. Ren, shut up! He kept crying out. Then I heard loud stomping down the stairs. STRADE looked at Ren, then to me. His face contorted with rage. You touched my fox? Yes. I shrank down and dropped the knife. He reached without looking for an axe hanging on the wall. Wait. He didn't waste any time. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. I barely had time to register the axe plunging at my face. So it's okay if he does it, but if we do it, we're the assholes that get an axe to the face. Okay, so I guess this time I won't stab him, even though he's a little fucking snitch, and he has now snitched on me twice. I barely even scratched you. There was no reason to be crying like that. I drank it quickly. I guess I really was dehydrated. Thank you, Ren. It's okay. He looked down at my foot, covered in dried blood. I guess I could help you with that. I raised my head hopefully as he went to gather a small med kit. Wouldn't STRADE know that he's down here helping me with that, though? Is he allowed to do that? He also went back to the sink. He came back and sat down next to me. He washed my foot with a wet cloth. It was warm. I tried not to cry out as he dabbed at the torn hole in my foot. Sorry, I'll try to be more gentle. Aw. It's hard to hate this guy. Look at him. He's so cute. He's just a little lad. Okay, new plan. I'm gonna escape and I'm taking this bitch with me. You don't have a choice anymore. He sprayed a bit of antibiotic on the wound. I can't give you a bandage. He'd notice. Okay, that makes sense then. I dropped my head before nodding slowly at him. It's okay, Ren. You've helped me a lot. You're welcome. His tail swished happily. I better go. I'm not supposed to be down here. I nodded at him. He left quietly. I looked down, alone again. At least my foot felt a little better. I drifted back to sleep. Ah, damn, do we still get lit on fire? Ren, fucking useless. Never mind. This bitch is gonna rot here. I'm not taking him anywhere. I hadn't done this intro or this beginning choice where I went to the bathroom and he kidnapped me, and then I asked him if he just wanted to leave with me, and he said yes, and then kidnapped me. So this time I was just like, I'm gonna go home. And here we are. I turned on my heel and felt my phone loosen from my fingers as a strong hand knocked it away. What are you doing? I felt his strong hands grab my shoulders and bash me into the brick wall. A hand covered my mouth. His heavy boot crushed my phone, and I felt my last line of help die with it. Are you going to come quietly, or are you going to make me work? I wonder what I'm going to do. Uh-oh. I glared at him as he backhanded me across the face. I hit the ground and coughed, looking up at him. A heavy boot dug into my sternum as he grabbed my arms. STRADE zip-tied my wrists together and pushed me into an expensive-looking car. So let's see if that does anything different. I don't know. Oh. So when we were in that alley, because I bit him, he fought me and my health was lower than normal. And so we just got to that part where I bit the shit out of him again. This is now the second time. And he was doing the knife thing, and I just hit 0 health. Last time he did this, I was still alive the next day, which I was very surprised about. But, okay. I started to feel very dizzy. STRADE patted my cheek a few times. Hey, don't pass out. I couldn't hold my head up. Hey. I slumped forward. I could only barely hear STRADE. Come on. Hey, stay nice and warm for... I'm not done. You are done. Okay. Look at this. We're doing pretty good. We only have 3 endings left. Not too shabby. And it's totally appropriate considering the amount of time I've played so far. Absolutely makes a lot of sense. I'm just now getting to see the crest, like actually see the crest. It's amazing, I love it. So last time, we just talked to Ren, and both times we talked to Ren, we were mean to him, we got set on fire, and then we were nice to him, and we got set on fire, and then we were really mean to him, and we got axed in the face. But this time, he looks pretty pleased. So let's see if this is anything different. Let's see what kind of horrible things he has planned for us. I woke up and blinked. STRADE was leaning against the counters and staring at me. I shifted uncomfortably as I remembered everything. Morning, Cece. You're still in pretty good shape, I guess. He licked his lips and crouched in front of me. I really should finish you off. But I don't want to. Oh, no. No, there's nothing hopeful about that statement. I looked up hopefully. Are you going to let me go? Oh, Cece, you dumb, naive bitch. He rubbed his thumb over my cheek. Yeah, no. I looked at him in confusion as he grabbed something metal. What is that? He opened the metal ring and clicked it closed around my neck. I gasped and tried to look down at it, but couldn't. What is it? It's a collar. Don't worry, it looks great on you. Oh, yes, that was my primary concern. Does this flatter me? It was heavy. I looked up at him. He leaned close to my ear, then spoke quietly and seriously. It's electric. You probably shouldn't try to step outside. He leaned back and smiled at me. I made it myself. Aw. He sighed wistfully. We're going to have so much fun together. Well, we lived that time, so yay. Okay, so this is another time where we just talked to Ren. We woke up. Have not seen this part yet. So if he's not going to set me on fire and he's not going to keep me. I woke up and looked in front of me. He was leaning against the counters, staring. You're still in pretty good shape, aren't you? I shifted uncomfortably. Better than most after a couple of days with me. He chuckled. But I'm getting a little bored. Oh. He stood up and strolled to me. I feel like... He licked his finger. You could be improved. I didn't like where this was going. If you're bored, why don't you let me go? I have a better idea. He knelt down in front of me and yanked on my legs. I was dragged into a painful leaning position against the pole. I couldn't move my hands anymore at all. He moved forward to straddle my waist. I writhed slightly, watching him pull the knife from his hip. He teased my exposed chest and belly with the tip of the blade for a moment. I couldn't help but whimper. Don't. Damn it! He pushed the blade into my gut. I screamed and started shaking. He pulled out the knife and I looked down to see blood oozing from the deep hole. I breathed hard, staring until I saw him moving. Is he gonna... I was gonna say, is he gonna pull my guts out again, but... Oh, fuck no. What the fuck? I hate everything about what is happening right now. I don't even have words. Oh my god. Please tell me that was it. Please tell me that there's no more. Oh god. Oh god damn it. Why did you guys do this to me? Why did you do this to me? We were going through the mini fridge and our sanity dropped to nothing after we saw organs and cheap Tupperware, because that would freak me out too. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you spring for some good containers for your multiple organs? I stopped what I was doing. Oh no, who was I kidding? Oh no, I wasn't going to make it out of here alive. I limped over to the counter. Look at all these tools. He's not going to win this. I'm going to win this. I picked up a long screwdriver. I'm going to get the last laugh. I leaned back, and I thrust the screwdriver into my eye. all I have to say is, how dare you? This man is vile. Get better, idols. And I guess we just have this guy left. I feel like I'm just gonna have nightmares about that scene for the rest of my life. So thank you so much for that.